I'm stopping at some unusual places here, but it turns out that there's hardly any save stations in Phazon Mines. So we find ourselves having to cut to the next clip in unusual places. Elevators are a pretty good place, and also it may be just acquiring something like an artifact or some difficult to get missile expansion. It's a good place to cut to another clip if you're having to go a little long on the next segment. These little boxes here give you a little bit of life, and in Phazon Mines I'll take all I can get because there's not very much opportunity. That green thing up there always has a guy hiding in it, but the first time it has a missile expansion as well. So you shoot it, it blows up the guy, he falls out. There's another guy behind him, he falls out and meets his maker, and there's a missile expansion there. So next time you come through, still shoot that guy down, but you won't get a missile expansion. But it'll save you from having to get up down to about here and then getting ambushed. So you have to fight a elite pirate here. Jesse's sort of the expert on this, and I think I handed the controls to him during this little cutscene. He likes to beat these guys up. Basically, it just takes a couple of super missiles, and he's gone. But he can absorb, when he has his hand up and he's absorbing stuff like that, you must well not shoot at him. But as soon as he puts his hand down, fire. I think what he did, Jesse might have fired there after, jump over that wave that comes out, and jump over it and then fire. And that gets him, because he's kind of undefended there. He's not holding up his little yellow hand. So yeah, the first one worked too. You just jump over that wave that when he hits the ground, this big blue wave comes at you. Just jump over it and then shoot your super missile at him. As you see, I have the ice gun out. That's because there's ice pirates all over the place now. Just shoot them, and I don't think you even have to charge up. You just shoot them and then shoot a missile at them. And they blow up into shards of glass, shards of ice. In the Wii version, I think you just have to shoot them a couple of times with the ice beam. Notice that's red, but I don't think it's a required scan now. It doesn't say that it logged anything to the logbook. So some of those scans are probably a waste of time. So now we go into the next room that's going to be full of pirates. And just keep on going. Oh, this is kind of an interesting place. It's a ventilation shaft. And these little green floaty exploding things come down, and they have acid gas. The first time you get through here, you should be able to avoid getting gassed. That thing that I just scanned, it's a good idea to scan it here, because when you're coming back, you can use the super bomb right there to blow up that thing, and it's hard to remember. And in fact, we forgot, but it's been scanned. Purple pirates. 1, 2, 3. It always takes 3. Down below are yellow pirates. I think there's 3 of them. So you might as well switch to the yellow beam and shoot them with super missiles. So I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, looking for life, because as you can see, I'm down to 3 dots. It's amazing how that stuff goes away. What am I doing? Oh, I jumped. Okay. I changed my my beam and then wasted 5 bullets on those guys. I think I actually managed to get 2 of these guys with 1 hit. It happened. That's possible if they stand too close together and you shoot one of them. You get the other one too. It's kind of nice. And look at that, I'm down to 2 dots. That's just sad. There's a reason why people don't feel too good about Phazon mines. You have to go fight all kinds of things. You take all these hits and you hardly get anything back. The pirates don't ever drop anything of use. The next room, I'm going to hand the controls over to Jesse because there's this house pet thing that's all corrupt and turned into a monster, and he's the best at dealing with it. I have actually died a couple of times trying to fight that thing. You can't lock onto it. You just have to manually aim, and it looks like he's just shooting charge beams at it, or maybe missiles. But it's somebody's house pet, it's just a pet of something that somebody found on Talon 4, and they like keeping a pet, but because of its exposure to Phazon, it went crazy and turned into a monster, and it's just terrible. I'll scan some of the emails on the computers in that room that talk about that, explain what that thing was that Jesse just shot and dispatched. And it was somebody's pet, and it had gotten corrupt, and because that was happening to a lot of pets, they had a new rule: no more pets until further notice. So anyway, this is a maze, and we're trying to get to the middle, and in the middle is that super bomb, which is the main reason for us coming down here. It's very useful. It's pretty useful when you're dealing with getting attacked later on by Metroids, and there's just too many to deal with, especially those fission Metroids. We haven't seen any of those yet, but those things are really hard to deal with. But if you have a super bomb, you can turn into a morph ball real fast and blow one of those things up, and it takes a bunch of them out for you. They're all over the place, and it just takes them out. Sometimes this thing is a little hard to solve, and I don't think it's the same puzzle every time. I think there's a bit of randomness to it. However, it's probably one of just a few puzzles, so if you've been here a lot of times, you might say, oh yeah, this is puzzle number 4, and you can deal with it pretty quickly. But you, of course, don't get to see the whole puzzle here. You only see part of it. Looks like we're looking at about a fourth of it right now, which means at any time we're only looking at a fourth. Well, no, we're looking at less than a fourth now. Yeah, it takes some time sometimes. And you can imagine there've been some times that by the time I got this, I was just down to a few percentiles left. My hands were sweating. I didn't want to touch any of that electricity for fear it'd take my last percentile. What did it say that was? I wasn't even paying attention. I was too busy chewing the fat. Well, you want to go up here and save. But first I'll scan those emails that say, don't keep any pets. Yeah, the pets are, no pets allowed. Kind of funny. Now, if you save here, and then you turn off the game, you have to fight ice pirates later, so don't turn off here.